that crazy? Right now, a black man is standing in front of you guys claiming shit that ain't even his. Telling you all he's white and expecting you all to believe him just because he says so. How many of you right now are like, hell no, this black ain't white? Probably a lot of you. But I am white. I just look more like a black person. I feel like I haven't convinced everyone in the room that I'm actually white. So let me make this easy. I have a white mother and a black father. There. Convinced? I spent most of my childhood convincing people, even myself sometimes, that I was really white. Never had to prove to anyone that I was black, though. I would just tell them to look at me. The proof is in the color. But there's only so much you can tell by just looking at someone. I found myself having to convince people a lot when I was a kid. In elementary school, my mom would come pick me up when classes got out. Secretly, I hated when she came to school to get me, because then, if someone saw her next to me, I would have to explain her to them the next day. For the record, I have never denied that my mother was white, to anyone. You ask who she is, and I'll tell you. So I would never lie to anyone who asked. I was just uneasy by it, just like she might have been. She would pick me up on Monday, and on Tuesday, I get, who was that white lady who came and picked you up yesterday? Oh, that was my mom. That can't be your mom. She's white. I know she's white, but I have a white mom. You're lying. Really? I'm lying? Why in the hell would I lie about this? But I guess that's just kids being kids though, right? I mean, realizing that a black student could have a white parent is almost too much for a young mind to handle. True ignorance is like that. But this can't just be an instance of kids being kids, because guess what? Adults do it too. My family and I could walk into the deli for breakfast, and we could all sit down at the same table because we're family. And somehow, a normal day at the deli turns into a witch hunt, with eyes following us everywhere we walk. I wonder what the hell they're looking at. Nobody ever comes up to us and asks us the questions that are tormenting them, so my siblings and I never know what they want. So, when we try to return their gaze with one of our own, they casually, or not so casually, look away. If you just want to ask me something, then please don't hesitate. It'll make everything in my mind so much clearer if I know why you're staring at me. At us. Do you want to know if we're all related? If she's really my biological mother? I know I had a birth certificate somewhere. I can have a DNA test done and mail you the results. Just please give me your address. I can show you pictures of my mom when she was pregnant with me. Would that evidence not suffice? Would you rather see the birthing video instead? Maybe then I can convince you all that yes, I am W-H-I-T-E white. So that was typical growing up. But finally, I am off to college where I will be surrounded by intelligent people and trained, sophisticated adults who understand the differences in this world and actually appreciate them. A place where money grows on trees, where racism and and prejudice don't exist. Gender discrimination? Unheard of. All sexualities are accepted. Fraternities live by the tenets of charity and virtue. And love. Sororities are sweet and kind, and most of them, ooh, we kidding. All of them are abstinent. A place where people respect alcohol instead of abuse it. Where a place like Shuda's is a high-class establishment of giving space and conversation. And finally, there is no distinction of color. I am ready to enter this marvelous world now. On the first day at Duke, Mom walks into my room, seconds after I do, and successfully puts a what the fuck look on one girl's face. That was the first thing I noticed at Duke. But because I'm used to this reaction, I pay no attention to it at all. Later on, she asks if I'm adopted. Never heard that one before. But adopted? Really? You couldn't have thought of any other explanation of why she was white? God damn it. The very first day in college, and already I have to convince people once again that yes, you simple bitch, I am really white. There have been a couple of times when my mom would ask how it felt to be both white and black. I would look at her confused because I don't know how to answer that question. How should I feel? It isn't enough to know that she's my mother and that I have to acknowledge the difference between her skin color and mine, even if I don't want to. Maybe she's asked me this to prepare me for the real world, to make things more clear for me. That maybe no one can truly be perceived as white and black as they are together, but just as one. So, next time Mom asks, how does it feel to be both white and black? I will tell her that it feels just the same as being black. If nobody wants to recognize that I am, in fact, white, then maybe I shouldn't recognize it